down. Prescott back. Look at this protection. Deep ball to the middle to Lamb. 35 broke away. Left side 20. Walk your dog. Right on in. Welcome back, CeeDee Lamb. 74 yards. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Brad Sham said it all right here on your home for America's team. In case you did not know, good morning to the 6 a.m. club. It's Shan and RJ along with our Cowboys insider, Bobby Belt. CeeDee Lamb with a 3rd-and-1 conversion on the opening drive. Cowboys took the ball like RJ Choppy wanted, and they went and got that early lead, 7-0, after Javonte ended up punching it in. Then CeeDee on a 1st-down throw scores the 74-yarder.
And defense played very well tonight. When you do that, I think more of our games are going to look like this.
Nice job, Aiden, on the fan cam, getting the video highlight up, Twitch and YouTube as well. Good morning to all the Cowboy Tolos watching. The wide receiver seesaw, impossible worry. Brian Schottenheimer laughed about it Friday. I'm not going to complain. Oh, my God, I have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. What am I going to do? CeeDee, 8 targets. Pickens with 6, 4 for 82. And it felt like near perfect involvement for both guys.
It did. You gotta work them in. That's the blessing and the curse of a number one, a star receiver.
Just look at Philadelphia.
Is you gotta work them in. And
although not yesterday,
young quarterbacks especially, and Dak's not that, but young quarterbacks will feel the pressure to force the ball to the star receiver. And when that star receiver is out, I can just work the ball around. I can throw 8 times over here and 6 over there. I don't have to worry about a damn thing. I thought it was. I think you're right. It was near perfect involvement.
Yeah, it was balanced. It was exactly what you want to see from the top 2. I don't love the rotation behind the top 2, but the top 2 was.
I don't know what the rotation behind the top 2 is at this point.
Well, I mean, there was at least a target for Jalen Tolbert, and he did play 30 snaps in this game, all while getting penalties for holding as you're breaking big runs to the outside and stuff like that. But no, I think that they're clearly in such a groove with each other. Dak and George Pickens are. We already know what Dak and Lamb have with each other, and the growth and the close relationship that CeeDee and Pickens have, I think, is going to be so big for this working in general, because you've got to be able to be okay with ceding to somebody else every now and then, and so. You have not felt the stress of, man, got to get somebody else the ball. Is he going to be upset? Is he going to be standing there on the sideline getting upset? I think for those two, they're happy when the other one gets the ball, and that has helped make this a healthy setup.
Jerry on the ceiling of the offense with both guys back at wideout.
Well, it gives Turp a lot of openness, doesn't it, when those 2 guys are out there? I'm kidding. But obviously the fact that George has been able to really establish himself in Lamb's absence, both with confidence, himself, his teammates, coaches, now that gives what he can bring to the table with Lamb. With what we're doing in our running game. I thought, I don't want to take anything away from Washington and how they can disrupt, but I thought that was one of our best offensive outings out here in several years.
Well, they're just scoring 40 points at home again.
That's all they do now. They ran through a stretch where from like the middle of 2019 up through the end of the 23 season, Dallas was automatic 40 points, it seemed like. It was 28 games, and in those 28 games, 15 of them were 40 points. So it was every other game. They averaged 37 a game. And then last year, even before Dak got hurt, they couldn't score at home. And it was a real struggle for them. They went 2-7. This year, again, that's all they've done, 3 games. 40 against the Giants, 40 against the Packers, 44 yesterday.
And I think Chiafalo said that actually had not happened since the 70s, but I was like, no, 2 years ago, they're blowing every NFC East team, it felt like, out at home and just dominant and undefeated in Arlington. I think we got to stick with a star up. I don't want to delay it like we did last week just because the great MVP level play is just expected. Dak Prescott, star up, brought to you by Wild Fork Foods and Johnson Fitness and Wellness. 21 of 30 for 264, 8.8 a throw, 3 touchdowns. He was sacked 1 time. The QBR was an 88. And the Maestro is just back out there and at it again. Timely with the legs. Right? That 3rd and 8 I referenced earlier, the little dump-offs, automatic touchdowns to Ferguson, star up to Dakota.
Man, he did. On that run, though, where he scrambled for that first down, I was just like, oh, God, please don't, have something. Because it felt very much like the scamper against the Giants a couple years ago, and somebody's, like, grabbing him from behind him and trying to, like, pull him down. And so that was panic-inducing there. But this is as good as he's played, as we've ever seen.
And is it as much fun as he's ever had on offense?
I don't know if I have. And not a knock to any other group that I've been a part of, but the chemistry, the camaraderie, the trash talking, the emotions and passions of this unit, it's there as much as I've ever seen it. And sure, we've got some youth that's probably a big part of it. But we've got guys who just work their tails off every day. And I say it all the time, confidence is earned. Like, you don't just wake up and say, yeah, I know I can do this. No. You got to go do that, prove it to yourself, and then, you feel good about talking about it and walking the walk. So this group practices the right way, and they've earned the confidence, and they go out there and we play with it. And it's fun. It really is fun. It's a collaborative effort, and it's not about me. It's not about any one person on that group. It's about the way that we all play for one another, doing our 1/11th each play, and seeing what the result is afterwards.
Dak with 207 and 2 touchdowns in the first half. A nice third down out throw to Pickens in the third quarter. I wrote that down as just feeling really big. And he now has 40 career games with 3+ passing touchdowns, tying Tony Romo for the most in franchise history.
It's surprising to have 211 the first half. He barely had any pass yards in the second. Now, they had a big lead, but it wasn't like that big where you just start leaning on the run.
Yeah, but once you got the Bland pick 6, that was just kind of like, all right, this is pretty much over.
Dak on throwing past the sticks in the first half, 7 of 10, 177, 2 touchdowns, a 152 passer rating. Star up, star down, your Cowboys report card here on The Fan, brought to you by Wild Fork and Johnson Fitness and Wellness.
My first one, you already mentioned it was taking the football, because now it's 40-0. That is the last few games for Washington. They have started the last 4 games trailing 40-0.
Wow.
So it was 13-0 to Chicago, 10-0, 10-0 the previous game, 10-0 to Denver, and then another Chargers, and now this game, 7-0. It was 40-0 over the last 4 games for the Commanders. You can't start like that. You can't start like that in the NFL. But one guy on the defense, we've been asked where the hell he is. That's Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney, who was everywhere. He was everywhere in this game. And I was like, man, we were just trying to figure out, we're going to see him in the sack? Because he's not a sack guy. He's not a sack guy. He's not going to show up too many times throughout his career. That's not what he is. He's a run stopper, but he's an overall, all-around good, sound football player.
Yeah, I shinxed him by saying, and someone said, is Clowney playing today? I said, has Clowney been playing this year? And then he goes out and has his best second half, best game as a Cowboy, including one of those sacks.
Yeah, he was good yesterday, and not only just rushing the passer and making plays in the run, but also getting his hands up and throwing lanes and batting down passes, and he made an impact yesterday. And I think, like you said, we waited too long to give star up to Dak Prescott last week. You want to knock it out. He has been kicked in the groin area a million times this year, so it feels only fair that for yesterday, Matt Eberflus came through, checked the ego at the door, and was willing to change things and get out of his comfort zone. I think that it was huge, because if they go out there and just try and run the same thing they've been running, I think they have another difficult day. And so I think big star up to Matt Eberflus just for the game plan that he called and willing to check the ego at the door this week.
Broadus texted a little while ago, the metrics told you to play more man coverage against this guy. He's talking about Jaden Daniels. 49% passer, much better passer versus zone. Of course, you were missing Diggs. How many more times did they blitz? How often did Donovan Wilson play in the box versus on the back end? We talked with Schottenheimer about that on Friday. And then we're talking about the man coverage differences, 47% for the game. Midway through the third quarter, it was at about 43%. That was a season high. And Jaden Daniels against that man-to-man was 3 for 10 for 39 yards. So, are we all willing to go ahead and give? I wrote down an emotional star up for Eberflus. Also, 11 sacks coming in, 5 against the Jets, and then they got 4 more yesterday. I wrote down Ezraku next to Clowney as finally getting one.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely not. You don't get to drive to work 5 days a week, and cause accidents on the first 4, and then I give you a cookie on Friday. All right? For coming to work without causing a car wreck. I'll see you in November.
They did blitz significantly more yesterday. So yesterday they blitzed against Jaden Daniels. It was 43% of the time. Against Marcus Mariota, it was 41% of the time.
I'm going to give a star up to this Dallas Cowboy, but it's not actually for this play.
He just got the snap off, flushed out by Odigizua, and he's going to be almost hit by Clark. Throws it away. It's intercepted. He threw up a duck. Here comes Bland down the sideline. It's a pick six. It's a pick six. The first touch of a ball by a Cowboys cornerback this year.
What? The first touch of a ball? Is he throwing in the pass breakup stat that we referenced last week with Diggs and Bland? But another corner had to have broken up a pass and touched the football, or maybe he's just referencing that interception.
It may not have been that anybody had it, because maybe
a pass breakup from a corner.
Maybe Elam. I think Elam
6 games in.
Elam had one, I think, coming into the game.
That's not possible.
Can't be possible.
I'm looking at it. So I think Elam's got one on the year. Bland now has one on the year. Stewart has one on the year. So I don't know. Did Bland get, or did Elam get one yesterday? If Elam got one yesterday, then it would have been just Reddy Stewart.
So Osa and Kenny Clark, it looked like getting that pressure.
Kicking himself on that.
Peyton has all of your star ups, star downs on the Franklin Franco Injury Attorney text line. We will continue handing out the flowers, some star downs if you want to take it there. After a 44-22 win.
First down, they're going to run the ball. Williams into the secondary, coming left with a stiff arm. 15, 10, 5, struggling down to the 2. What a run by Javonte Williams. Timeout, Dallas with 13 seconds remaining in the half. Javonte Williams goes 32.
Get this guy on the All Madden team. This will be an All Madden season. I was wondering how many people actually that follow me on X know what I'm referencing in terms of the age, but I don't even care. He's a banger. He does all the little small things, rumbling, tumbling, stumbling, whatever Chris Berman's saying you want to use. And Javonte Williams bounces back from the Carolina game with 19 for 116 yards, 6.1 with the average. His longest run was 33. He scored a touchdown. Star up Javonte Williams here on Shan and RJ, brought to you by Wild Fork and Johnson Fitness and Wellness.
Man, he's getting his mail in the star ups. He's a star up every week. Every single week.
Last week he got a star down.
Well, last week.
Yeah.
We don't count last week. we don't count.
He had that rumbling run for 33 before the Ferg touchdown before the half. He had that sweet sidestep for 16 after the Shamar play.
Yeah, and I mean, I hadn't even. It's such a not that I would normally think of it, but it's a good way to describe it. Just thinking like he is such a John Madden player. Like the way that he runs the football, Madden would have, calling a game, Madden would have just not stopped. I'll tell you what, Javonte Williams, I love this guy. He would have been circling him the whole game and all the booms and everything else. He's so physical. He's, other than last week, he's had such a good feel all year for where the block's opening up. And I don't know what happened last week, because last week he made some bad reads. The line didn't do their part a lot of times, but he was also just not as sharp as he had been. This was an instance yesterday again where he kind of got his mojo back, and the chemistry that he has, and there's absolutely runner and offensive line chemistry, and having a sense of what you need to do to set up your blockers, and your blockers having a sense of where you're going to be and what you need to do. They are so on point together as a unit, and have just washed away any doubt that anybody had about the running game.
I'm not giving a star up to this guy for his individual performances, but this moment is something that is becoming consistent with the Cowboys season, the damage they are doing in that final 2 minutes before half.
Snap to Prescott. First and goal, looking, standing, over the middle, into the end zone. Touchdown to the post. Jake Ferguson. How about that?
35 seconds. 35 seconds. Brady knew it as soon as Washington scored. He goes, way too much time.
Too much time.
Way too much time. I think there was 45 seconds left, and then boom, bam, bleh, whatever other word you want to throw. Ferguson scores and you are up 27-15. Star up, Cowboys, Schottenheimer, Dak execution right before halftime. It keeps happening.
They've figured something out in terms of last 2 minutes when they need to go tempo and they need a score. They figured something out at the end of the first half of how to attack defenses.
I think the stat was the Cowboys are number 1 last 2 minutes of a half. Washington was like 30th.
Yes.
In terms of those points given up, points allowed.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you just take the Jets game. They scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute. The Packers game, they scored 2 touchdowns, I think, in the final 2 minutes of the first half. They score that one there. No, it was that same thing, last minute. So twice in the last minute this season, they've scored 2 touchdowns, and then they get that drive yesterday. They are just...
Those are game changers,
those quick strike drives that they're able to get at the end of halves. There's something about everybody's comfort level and understanding. And when we talk about how poor the communication has been on defense, they clearly are all on the same page on offense in those situations, and that's such a massive advantage.
Pickens had a play. Javonte had a play. Then Ferg finishes it in 35 seconds. What are the Tolos texting for star up, star down?
A lot of star up, Sean. 2-1-4 star up to Pickens, CeeDee, and Clowney on offense there. And defense, 2-1-4 star down to Steele for giving up the safety. 469 star up to Matt Eberflus. 214 says star up to Deron Bland. And then 903 and 817 star up to Diggs for not being there.
Man, star up to the future phone call Jerry makes to Pickens' agent. If he ever actually makes it. Does he know his name? He knows his name by now.
He does now.
Listen, if they don't sign that guy, I am going to have a problem.
We're going to have a discussion about it. I don't know if it's smart team building. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. RJ Choppy.
I got a real smart team building move. You want me to do it?
Don't stop it. This is such a weird hill you've decided to die on. Of like, let's trade. CeeDee.
Yeah, I've drawn a line to say, okay, there are Team Pickens and Team Lamb. Okay, I've
divide them. The new TO,
the new TO, baby. I'm gonna be the radio TO.
Who did the celebration on the fan cam? Like that? Did the breaststroke? Who was a football player? Someone would always go like this and split them and divide them. That's what RJ's trying to do with the wideouts. Dak Prescott on the full trust he has in GP.
Yeah, I do. And honestly, we threw one in the third quarter, and that's a miss. You know what I mean? I take that as a miss because of the way that the guy is able to play the ball in the air when I don't give him a fair chance at it. Like I'm going to put that on myself. And so I know the first one I threw to him was a little underthrown and a little outside, but, he goes and makes an unbelievable catch, late hands in it, holding it off, and then the one that led to the touchdown right before the second half or right before the first half, and just put that one out there and kept Lattimore in his back pocket, let it fall in, and he has a great natural ability of late hands in the ball and holding the defender off, and that makes my job easier. So yeah, the trust is through the roof.
Oh, Marshawn Lattimore. Whew. Still seeing the smoke coming off that toast as he's getting cooked every single week. What did they give up for him? Because they got to be regretting that deal. I thought it was an over-the-top move when they did it last year. But let's go through Pickens' day real quick. Overall, he had 4 for 82, 20.5 per catch. He had 6 targets, the long 44. He had the gorgeous sideline catch for 24. That was gorgeous. The 44-yarder before the half. That leads to Javonte's rumble for 33, then the Ferg score. 109 yards in the first half, if you include the 37-yard DPI that he draws weekly. I tweeted it. I'm not joking. Throw it up. I'm not just trying to be oversimplified Madden video game player. Throw it up 3 times a game in the air to him. And it was some quarterback a couple weeks ago on a broadcast saying...
Not Mark Sanchez.
Not Mark Sanchez. I was just about to say that. Don't ever throw the receiver. Don't ever overthrow the receiver, ever.
Always underthrow, yeah.
If you underthrow, because I feel like there are no DBs that I watch anymore on deep passes that turn the head back around. They don't turn the head back around. Nobody is better adjusting in with the ball in the air that I've seen right now this season than George Pickens. He drew the 37-yarder on Lattimore in the third.
Yeah, and it wasn't great the first couple weeks of the season. Them trying to connect on deep balls, them trying to connect on the contested balls. The contested balls where it was like the first few weeks were like, so where's this? It's great that he's drawing the interference calls, but where's the finishing these plays? He's not doing it right now. And, Shotty had said, I think he said it with us. I know he said it in a press conference, but the idea is that the last thing that comes along in a quarterback and receiver's relationship and in their chemistry is the deep ball. That's the one that is the most challenging to connect with and to figure out. And it took him a couple weeks, and it took him the offseason, but man, they are so in sync now with Dak has such a good feel for where does George need the ball. George has such a good feel for where to work back to Dak's throws, how to attack the throws. They are in such good rhythm with each other on those contested passes and those deep balls that it really does give you the advantage of he's open even when he's not open. And that's such a big thing for them.
And let's see if Jerry took the bait afterwards. Was Jerry in a good mood, Bobby?
Yeah, he was. I heard he was in a great mood before he got out there and talked to the media.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was practically dancing, apparently, walking to the locker.
Let's see if Jerry took the bait in answering this question. Are CeeDee and Pickens the best wide receiver duo you've ever had?
Well, we've had, I don't want to take anything away. I saw Dez going down through there. Don't want to take anything away from those guys. Don't have to, all of them. But I will tell you, Lamb's ability to really make the difference on an offense. Now, Pickens is got that ability as well. That along with our running game, really, I feel as good about that offense as I have in a long time around here, and I say that to all our fans. What I am excited about is that we did make and have made adjustments. We'll continue to make adjustments. We do have personnel coming that will be coming, and being a part of that defensive personnel, we got a chance to evolve into the kind of team that our fans deserve.
Man, is there a lot of pressure being put on Overshown? Yeah. Friday's K&C interview. I know he ain't talking about Savon Ravel, who's in a leg brace all of a sudden after Bobby was hearing some Tweety Birds last week, and then out of practice, they got him in that leg brace. But Jerry was asked about RJ's little comment and the thought that he's going to have a problem with George's agent, who was also Micah's agent. Does Jerry know his name now? And will what happened with Micah be a problem in trying to get GP re-signed?
Don't pay any attention to that at all. No attention to that at all. And too much was made of that. Okay? That the agent actually had something to do with the ultimate decision of where we were. It almost had zero to do with it. Period. And that's not a negative. It just didn't have that kind of influence. I was going to be where I was with Michael relative to dollars and cents. I don't care who represented me.
So Jerry's basically saying, I was offering 40 and that's it. I was offering 40, and that was going to be the ceiling. Micah Parsons with 3 sacks yesterday for the first time in his career.
I didn't seem right.
Double check AI on that one.
It was enough that it brought Aiden's brand new squeaky clean Micah Parsons jersey out of the closet. He's been waiting on for 4 weeks.
Get him cussed out on the chat.
Yeah, I mean he gets 12 a year, like every year, like it's just flat 12.
But I mean, he's there were several games where he would have 2.5. Like, how many different times did we go like Mike has been in the backfield all game?
Look at that Charger game, that coming out party he had.
Star Up, Star Down, brought to you by Wild Fork and Johnson Fitness and Wellness.